Welcome back to the final dual meet of the night between the Ithaca Bombers and Nassau Community College. Both winners on today. Both beat Oswego State. So we're trying to win the day here. Ithaca Bombers are. Haycock already in on a shot. Trying to scoop behind there. Unable to do so. Has to back out. And he goes right back in. A little bit overextended. Looking for a dump here. He has that elbow control. But eventually lets go of it in favor of the crackdown single. Head outside. He's got to build his base up if he wants to score here. And stalemate. Back in the center. 2 minutes, 11 seconds in the first period. Joe Patron here for Nassau. Took first at Invite the other week, so definitely no slouch for Haycock here. Haycock, he headhunts, coming out the back, might be able to get back points here off a takedown. Patron doing a good job of latching on for dear life. Haycock comes out on top with a half in the wrist. It's coming over top. And he's unable to run it. Patron never ended up getting the takedown there. Said never established control. So Haycock does take the lead on what is technically a takedown, 2-0. One escape. It is now 2-1 with a minute to go in the first period. A lot of action here early on. Action in the center of the mat, what we all like to see. Nice re-attack by Patron, but defensive underhook there for Haycock. See what we can do with it. Patron does have control of the far wrist, so it's going to be a little bit harder for Haycock to hit a dump or anything that he likes to do. Same position. Not much. Oh, and what a sick trip by Patron. That was a big-time freestyle judo throw. You see all the time. A little foot sweep. 5 seconds on the clock here. Haycock's just trying to survive his 6-point move. 1 second. And is it a fall? Do they call it a fall? They do. Joe Patron ends up with a feed-to-back fall, putting Nassau up 6-0 after the 125 match. Tough loss for Haycock. Tough for the Bombers, starting off in a 6-point hole here. Torres for Ithaca here, and Lopez, who we see wrestle 125. Last match, bumps up to 133. Lopez gets out to a quick shot and score. Torres in a Peterson type position. Let's go to the leg in both of these first matches. Points on the board within the first 30 seconds of each of them. Torres in his collar tie. Nice go behind by Torres. Lopez gets overextended. Torres just kind of sidesteps. Does end up getting his 2 because Lopez had his hand on the mat. Weight on his hands, automatic 2. So now it is tied 3-3. Takedown for each wrestler within the first minute and a half. Wizard by Torres. Negates the duck. Does have an underhook, but Torres does have it tight over. Lopez back on that same side single. Torres staying extended. Trying to lock that foot out. Lopez tries to shelf it. Torres down blocks. And Torres locks up a near side cradle. That's a guaranteed 2. We're looking for 4 back here. And Torres is just holding. He's waiting. That's a 6-point move. That's a 6-point swing right there. Torres needs to put his head in the side if he wants to fall here. There it is. Head in the side. That cradle is locked up tight. There's a minute on the clock. Torres looking to get that 6 points back. He's in position to do so. He has a lot of space on the edge. He has time to work, and the cradle breaks. Unfortunate for Torres that the cradle breaks, but that's a big 6-point move there. Coming off of a takedown and what looked like to be, for sure, second takedown of the match for Lopez. Torres counters, down blocks, has great hips, gets a near side cradle, locked up, and then hits a tilt at the end of the match. And he might get stuck. Oh, and if the referee was in position there, that's a guaranteed fall. Referee is in position and that's a fall. Wow. What a turn of events here for Torres. All of a sudden, at the end of the first period, hits a tilt, which should have been 16 points for Ithaca. Ref was out of position. It's not his fault. That stuff happens quick. It's very difficult. But you get turned a little bit. That's a 6-point swing right there. But 11-3 now. Torres is in the lead. Replay at these lower level wrestling, because if that's big time, if that's on a D1 stage, the brick's getting tossed into the center of the mat and you're looking for a pin. But anyway, starting with a minute of riding time for Torres. 11-3 still. Great mat return. Looking for a half. Doesn't quite get it. Torres, parallel ride. He does have a wrist. Great wrist control. He's got the bulldog ride in. Does have a leg. Torres looking at half again. Taking his time now. Big crossface. Looking to get a cradle in. Doesn't quite get there, but he does break him flat with that heavy crossface. That was a big-time crossface from Torres. Lopez working up. He's got to be careful, though, especially with Torres eyeing up that cradle. Does get his one. Sick shot out the back. Torres with a slick pop. So in this type of position, Lopez does have his hands locked, but as long as Torres can get over on it, that's 2. It was almost danger points there for Lopez, but it doesn't quite get it. And Torres, he gets back here in a Navy-style tilt. Give him his 2. And he gives him 4 back points. He gets a quick 4 count. He only counted 3. A lot of points being exchanged here. It ends up being 17-4. Torres on top at the end of the second period. And he has 2 minutes and 33 seconds of riding time. A lot of points flying here. Exciting match. Torres looking really, really slick. Really crafty in some of his moves. Spontaneous. If you're Torres, you're hunting for more points here. You want to tech. Takedown here does it. Underhook. Left arm. Lopez being a little bit more defensive now, you see. Torres applying pressure, tries to hit a Russian drag there. Down blocks, heading aside. He's going for a fall here. He's going for a fall. So at this point, it's a guaranteed tech, but he is going for the pinfall. And he reverse halves on the other side, and he's in position to get the fall here. He's in position to get the fall, and he gets it. He ties the match. Torres ties the match. Going from giving up 2 takedowns to putting on an absolute clinic. Torres gets the fall. Is now 6-6. So you have Michael Snowden here at 141 for the Ithaca Bombers, and Quincy Howard for Nassau. Nassau tries a little quick whistle ankle pick. Doesn't really get much. Snowden coming off a huge fall for Ithaca before, off Billy Piatti. His offense was on fire that match, just unable to finish his shots. If he's able to finish his shots, Snowden's dangerous. Quincy Howard, really explosive, very fast. Likes to look for that go behind. Quick single leg shots is Quincy Howard's game. You're not going to see too many power moves or blast doubles or anything like that. Tied up in the center. Goes for another quick ankle pick. Snowden keeps his hips back. Nice fake by Snowden, getting Quincy moving. A little bit of hand fighting, baseball grip. Now for Snowden, let's go. And his pressure shoots him off the edge. If Howard in a circle there, be questioning, maybe even a stall. But probably not, because he has been showing action, but you never know. Sometimes when you get shot off the mat like that, they call fleeing. Snowden in control here in the center of the mat, in great position. I'm starting to think that low ankle pick's just a setup for Howard, because it doesn't seem to extend like it would be a normal ankle pick. Might be setting something up with that level change. Goes for a duck, but backs out at the last moment. Minute on the clock, no score yet. Lots of action, lots of level changes. Interesting to see if Snowden takes advantage of Howard's sit out when he does the ankle pick. When he comes down, he kind of sits out and knee slides up. If Snowden's able to time it right and capitalize on it, he can, hit a little misdirection and basically just scoop it to immediately. Good fakes by Howard, trying to get Snowden to move. Snowden staying good posture the entire time. 10 seconds left on the clock. No score in the first period. Lots of action, though, for no points being on the board. You're getting moving. You're setting up your shots. I think Snowden has a little bit of an offensive advantage of what it looks like. Anyway, Howard hasn't gotten in really deep. Snowden's at least gotten in on his shots, able to attack. Howard stands right up, but out of bounds all day. A little bit of tension over on the opposite side of the mat. Snowden covers. Caution red is interesting considering how late it was after the whistle. Curious of what happened. Maybe start early, but Snowden just cuts. 1-0 now. Howard's in the lead. But he did get choice the second period. Good fakes by Howard. Snowden, quality defense. He's keeping his feet under his hips. Not getting too extended, where Howard's able to hit one of his ankle picks that he's been looking for, and there it is. As soon as I say it, was Snowden strong enough to back out. That was a nice push head single. So when you get that head movement, like Howard just did, and push it away from you, you're able to knee pick that same side, pull it in. That was a nice shot. 3-0 now for Howard. Minute left to go. Snowden looking to get. And back points for Howard. The legs in that claw tilt. Four back points is a big blow. Late in the second period. 7-point deficit. There's a lot to cover. Snowden fighting here, trying not to give up points. Arm very, very securely on his back. It was a good fight just to get out of that position. Get the leg out. Only a 1 count. Was at 90 degrees. Good fight by Snowden on bottom there. Snowden picks neutral, which makes sense considering the end of the last period. Snowden has been looking good in his offensive attacks. He's just unable to finish. Down 7. Howard does not have riding time. So it's still a regular decision at this point. If the match were to end right now. But Snowden's not worried about that. Snowden's trying to win here. In deep on that shot, Snowden needs to tripod out and go to that side. Tough on the shot. It's like a counter roll type situation. That was just a pure scramble right there. There's no move to describe what that was. Howard's going for a ball and chain. Doesn't quite get it. Howard does have riding time now, so it is 10-0 in effect. Snowden is going to try to fight this. Maybe even roll through if Howard gets a little bit overzealous. But he has that straitjacket hold. Kind of like a reverse bow and arrow type thing. 40 seconds left. 13. Nothing right now for Howard. Snowden in that bow and arrow type situation again. Build up to his base. Gets flattened out by Howard once more. Right now, Snowden's just fighting, trying not to give up that tech. It's 14-0. Under 10 seconds remaining. Snowden's trying really hard right now, fighting off all back points. 3, 2, 1. And that's a small victory right there, not to give up that tech. To be able to fight that off. Major decision. That's big for Ithaca team score right there. It's now 10-6. Nassau. Ketchum coming off of a dominating win over D3 honorable mention Tyler Sini from Oswego State. So interesting to see how Cruz plans to attack this. Cruz filling in for Matthew Byer, who is in his most formal coaching attire, presumably with injury right now. Quick shot. That low level change off Ketchum is so difficult to fight off. Cruz does catch the leg coming in, though. He's in a scramble type of position right now. But we saw from his other match, Ketchum was really, really comfortable in scrambles. Pedro Cruz keeps his heads up, keeps his hips up. Lots of roll-throughs. In a 50-50 type position right now, anything can happen here. Ketchum ends up on top, threatening a cradle. Still 2-0. No points scored through that exchange. Trying to roll through claw tilt. No back. Who's trying to build up some sort of base here. Ketchum trying to hit that claw tilt. Does get 2 back points, but ends up giving an escape to Cruz, who turned into that. Cruz was definitely looking to catch him on his back there. Huh, get it? Catch him. Catch him. I was pretty proud of myself for that one. Minute 10 remaining. Scores 4-1. Ketchum for Nassau's in the lead. Slick ankle pick. Issue with an ankle pick like that, it's tough to sprawl out when he's so deep and he catches you on your heels. You can't really sprawl out because he's ankle picking. It's not a straight shot as you would see typically like in the knee or in the crotch. So you almost have to try to sit and scramble. Claw tilt gets 4. Cruz just struggling to build his base and get an escape. Trying to turn in and catch him on his back, but just unable to do so, get any type of reversal. Ketchum leads 10-1. 2 minutes of riding time here in the second period. Choose neutral, looking to go big. Cruz does dabble in a lot of like judo throws, things like that, so you never know. 10-1 is no lead is comfortable with someone as dangerous upper body as Cruz. All it takes is one throw to end a match. Cruz definitely looking to get in on his ties. Catch him much more comfortable shooting from space. It was a nice go behind by Cruz. He pick up the leg, catch him trying to funk his way out of it, and able to hit like the Jonesy roll. Looking for a Jonesy tilt, but Cruz has a whizzer in, reverse whizzer, and in like 50-50, and Ketchum does hit the Jonesy tilt. And those 4 back points secure the tech fall for Ketchum.
Winner by a technical fall, Chris Ketchum. Now wrestling at 157 pounds.
Moving to a 157. We have Wenchard Pierre-Louis, who didn't wrestle in a match earlier today, but he is ranked number 13 in the country by the coaches poll. Of course, the most recent coaches poll will be coming out very shortly. Exciting to see where he's ranked then in the most recent poll coming up, but he's ranked number 13. And Amicilio for the Lions, coming off a big victory. Looked very, very good on top. Lots of tilt options. Seems like a point scorer on top more than a shooter. Neutral. Pierre-Louis working through his ties. Fights through that little shrug by Basilio. Able to quickly fight square. unable to hit any of the drags he's trying right now. Just getting not much movement from it. When he hits those drags, you're aiming for behind the elbow to get that leverage that you would typically get in some of your underhook positions and things like that. Just unable to get a full amount of leverage. Great job by Wenchard there to see that coming and try to funk his way into a 50-50 type position. Basilio does seem to be in a better position right now. Now that his hips are in the air, Wenchard needs to raise his hips and kind of get... He tries to funk roll through. Continuing the funk. Basilio in a potentially dangerous position. Basilio was in position to score there. With his hips as high up as they were, they're typically favored in those type of positions. In those 50-50 scrambles. Your hips up, you score. But Lions coach exclaiming about how Wenchard Pierre-Louis should have been pinned, but there was no control at any point to determine a pin. But I do understand what he's saying in a defensive pin situation, but at the same time, at no point did Basilio ever establish control in any type of move or situation. Yeah, he was on his back, but it was to roll through, and there was constant action, so unsure of how you would score that a pin. But I do understand the frustration, especially in a situation like that where you want your wrestler to score a takedown and more. In such a favorable position, you want at least 2 there, and that is very frustrating not to get any points, especially in a top-ranked guy like Wenchard Pierre-Louis, who every single point you get is a big point. But Basilio seems unrattled, unshaken. Lewis also does not seem that upset as clock winds down in the first period. Basilio takes down. Well, he wants top. Coach is very, very confident in in his top game to let him do so. Coach looked right at Basilio, goes, I want down. I want you to go down. And he's like, nah, I'm telling you, I'm feeling it today. Coming off of the tilt clinic in his last duel, Basilio is tough on top. Likes his tilts, likes his claw rides, his claw tilts, hit a couple 2-on-1 roll throughs. Is dangerous on top, very dangerous on top. Wenchard building his base there. Weird locked hand situation underneath. I guess he had a head and arm technically, but depending on your referee and the situation, it's really not a pinning combination. Wenchard being able to roll through here in a Peterson type situation, but Basilio has that far tricep. He's looking for a straight jacket. Just unable to get there. Wenchard has his hips in the air and is now facing Basilio, so he's in a position where he's looking to get at least one here. As he works up and he's coming through, he's going to try to tripod out and limp arm. And there he limps arm out. He just takes his one. Nice limp arm. A throw by. And just Wenchard confident in a stand-up game. He's like, I'll take my one here. Let me get my point. You only have a minute of riding time. Definitely was not supposed to bend that way. That was a sick shot by Wenchard coming across. Penetration step would put him deep into Basilio's defense. Was able to come up, and Basilio tried to come over the top in like 50-50 and grab his ankle. And when he did so, Wenchard was trying to come out the back door, throw it to one side, and Basilio was hanging on for dear life. He refused to roll through or give up that 50-50 type position, and unfortunately just didn't go his way. And he got put in a tough spot, unavoidable by both wrestlers there. Unless you want to give up points, which at this level, you never want to give up easy points. If you can help it. So it looks to be at least no major injury, which is great. It's great to see in a match like this, so competitive at a high level. Now the big thing here is when Pierre-Louis does indeed get his own choice because of the injury time. So when you call it potentially dangerous and you call your own injury time and you get your own choice, like he already has the escape point in this period, it's huge if he can get another one here. Seconds remaining in this period. One zero. Ithaca is in the lead. Wenchard swims through. If he's able to swim through and bring his hips up, he's in a tough position to get a pin here. And Wenchard is able to come out the back and get two. Ithaca coach is frustrated with that front headlock, or that assassin type position, but the assassin's supposed to be shoulder in front, so it's more of like a headlock, which you're supposed to count on, but no counts from the referee. That's huge for Wenchard to end the period on top, 3-0 lead, and he gets choice. The fact that he gets choice is massive. So 3-0 here. The opportunity to get an escape and or reversal. Basilio does have the riding time right now, over a minute, and he is on top. We've seen in the prior match against Oswego how dangerous he is on top. So at any moment he can get a tilt or a fall type of thing. Wenchard rolls through and is able to peel that arm over, almost like a shrug by. And what seemed to be a sketchy situation in the scramble turns into a 2-point reversal for Pierre-Louis. Now he's looking in pretty good shape right now. Up 5-0. He's eliminated Basilio's riding time off of the board, and Basilio does seem a little bit tired. He does not seem as fresh. 45 seconds remaining on the riding time for Basilio. 1:10. And Wenchard gets in on a shot. Going for a chest wrap. And Wenchard sticks him. Possibly sticks him. If he can climb and get his head over, but unable to do so. Instead, he collects his back points. And 4-point backs. 11-1. So called injury time. Maybe he's majorly hurt. So technically, in technicality, Pierre-Louis does get an extra point here for Basilio calling a second injury time. Well, point in a choice, and now he's calling So after all of the confusion and trying to figure out what's going on, Winter does still get the point for the second injury timeout. Starts the period on top with 40 seconds remaining. He's up 12-1. Right now has the major decision, technically. 12-2, 10-point lead, 25 seconds remaining. Winter's looking to put more points up on the board. And he gets an extra takedown. 14-2. It's a big rally for Ithaca Bombers bench. They're feeling good after that victory. Really excited. And Winter's letting them know, hey boys, it's your turn now. The Bombers are looking to take control here. And while the scoreboard says different, the energy on the Bombers bench is electric. Jackson Gray at 165 here is coming out, trying to follow Winter's steps, make a statement, get some bonus points up on the board. 15-10 right now. Jackson Gray, a beautiful shot. Oh my God, and a cement mixer for Russo. Russo had a huge cement mixer. Jackson Gray does not get startled though. Gets the 2 reversal, and he gets back points of his own. Only one swipe. No back points for Jackson Gray on that reversal, on that scramble. Big 6-point move for Russo. Interesting because the same thing happened earlier in the year as Jackson Gray wrestled Stevens. He got in deep on a double leg, same exact situation, and he got pinned with a cement mixer. So for him to recognize that position, fight out of it, and give himself a chance here. 2 minutes left in the first period, only a minute down, score 6-2. But Jackson Gray's on top, is looking to get a bar tilt. Something going here. Riding pretty parallel. Nothing exciting, but that's okay. Just racking up that riding time. You gotta chip away at that 6-point lead. If you keep trying to hit big 6-point moves, sometimes it works, but a lot of times ends up in you getting caught yourself. So really deep half, and he runs it. He runs it from referee's position. And Jackson Gray's looking for a fall here. He's got the back points, he's got the count, and that's really deep. It's really deep. Jackson Gray just needs to get chest to chest, settle his hips down, and look for a fall. He has a minute on the clock here. He has a full minute to work. And he gets reversed. No back for Russo. So after the exchange, you had the Lions bench is very frustrated that there's no back points. It's very, very frustrated, but the referee never counted back after Russo established control. He gave time for reaction. So Jackson Gray, he got 4 back points, 2 on the reversal. The score is now 8-6 in Russo's favor for the Nassau Lions. Only in the first period. 14 points on the board in the first period. 15 seconds remaining in said period. Tempers are flaring. Energy is up on both benches. Seems to be a turning point in the match right here. Russo selects bottom with his choice. Jackson Gray covers on top. Quick stand-up for Russo. Jackson Gray does not even attempt a mat return. Gray lets him go. Baseball grip for Gray. Russo's trying to flee, break the grip. So dangerous here. Russo was trying to bait that cement mixer again. Gray's a little bit smarter this time, and he catches him. He locks that arm down in an overhook type position and gets a claw, reverse half. He's sitting there in a reverse half. It's possible that he gets back points here. He's got that Navy ride in a reverse half, and all he has to do is kind of walk his way backwards towards his butt and sink that reverse half, elbow into the mat, and he might be getting back points here. Good patience by Jackson Gray to try and work some back points there. Good patience, not get overzealous, not to run through that, because Russo was trying to set up another throw. He was trying to set up either a neck whip over or another cement mixer. Jackson Gray saw it, recognized it. Minute and a half riding time for Gray, too. He has spent a lot of time on top. For technically giving up as many back points as he did, he has spent a lot of time on top. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Russo flat here, struggling to build a base. Gray has that wrist control. He's trying to look to roll it under. Bench is yelling at the ref that Gray is not, quote-unquote, making any progress. He's doing, quote-unquote, nothing on top. 9-8 is the score. Russo still has the lead. But Gray has over 2 minutes of riding time here. So if he can get a takedown, that would be effectively a 3-point swing, because he would nearly secure his riding time, forcing Russo to cut him quick. And a collar tie. Gray trying to look to rush it out, baseball grip out. Nice far side single, climbs over. Russo has a chest wrap, but he's not going to be able. It would be remarkable if Russo is able to pull him over the top here. 2 for Jackson Gray. 2 for Gray, as Russo resigns his chest wrap. A minute and 15 remaining here. Gray has locked up riding time. So it's 11-9 in technicality with the riding time point. A minute left. Russo struggles on bottom. Gray seems comfortable riding on top here. And he called Gray for stalling, for not making progress, which, understandable. Have to look for a fall. Riding parallel is going to get you stall called, especially when you have the lead here. So just under a minute. Oh, Gray almost looking for a big mat return. Gets the mat return. Russo trying to roll through. Might get caught in a tilt here. Gray lets the tilt go. Russo has yet to build a base, and it wouldn't surprise me if Gray takes the point here and stall. Ride parallel. With under 30 seconds remaining, riding time secured, he can give up a stall point here if he thinks he's going to be able to ride Russo the rest of the match. Russo has not done a great job building his base when he's flat like this and getting a point. I say that as Russo puts his head in the mat, head spins out to his base. And as time winds down, Jackson Gray comes down. A big deficit. Got hit with a cement mixer early. Down 6-0. Comes all the way back for an 11-9 victory. Gray at 165. Having a great night. Never giving up. Finding a way to win. And that's all you have to do is find a way to win. Conrad Parker for the Bombers at 174. For the Lions, we have Steven Dickerson. Conrad Parker, great same side single there. Just lunging in. Limp arms out, and that's 2 for sure. Dixon attempted to throw in a whizzer there. Unable to. Conrad was at forward pressure. Was able to drive him off of his base. Dixon did struggle in bottom in the other match tonight. We haven't seen so much from Conrad on top. Both having to wrestle number 4 in the country. It's typically, you're forced out of your own style that you would prefer to wrestle. But Dixon gets his one. And Conrad's looking for that same side single again. You see him eyeing that knee. Dixon's lead leg is really sticking out. It's really ahead of the rest of his hips. And there it is. Unless Dickerson fixes his hips with his knee, that leg's going to be there all night. Still neutral because Dickerson has that arm locked. Conrad's probably going to try to limp arm out again. And that's 2. Didn't even have to limp arm out. Dickerson swung that arm over his head. Conrad's in a near side cradle type position. Unable to get it. Threw his head in the side, amused the idea, but eventually had to drop it. Let's have that bulldog leg ride and decide we'll work for something else here. Parker on top. Dixon does have the wrist control on the bottom, but he's unable to stand up right now. Parker's hips are really heavy. Just look for a suck back when Dickerson was gonna sit out, but unable to hit it. Dickerson gets his escape and nice down block. Nice step over by Dickerson. Dickerson is able to step over. We got a scramble here. Conrad Parker lifts his hips up, holding the ankle, able to get a 2 takedown. Great scramble. See if Parker's able to get a turn on top here. 6-2, he's in the lead. 30 seconds remaining in this period. Parker does have a leg in, although Dickerson is sitting. Interesting that he didn't try to go for a claw ride, or for a claw tilt with that leg in and sit-out position. And as I say that, he reaches for the claw tilt. Trying to force that tricep in. Claw tilt over before time runs out. And ending this period on top is Parker with the lead, 6-2. Dickerson takes bottom. Needs a quick escape here. He has been getting an escape, but Parker's been doing a great job of not spending too much time on his feet. You know, creating that opening and bring him right back down to the mat. Parker's been riding tough as well. He has over 2 minutes of riding time. It's not that Parker has not been riding. You know, Dickerson has not stood straight up. But those are his only points, or 2 escapes. So we're trying to get a third here. He does face, and he does get his 1. Parker, the same side single, that same leg every time. Dickerson has not fixed his lead leg issues. He's overextending in the stance, and that's what's going to get him taken down here again. Parker did a great job there of shifting Dickerson's weight. You know, not sticking steadfast to that same side single. Being like, hey, I need to bring this one way or another. Coming across the body there. That forward pressure. Landing a takedown. 8-3 now. It's Parker. Caution, Parker. Over 2 minutes of riding time. 1:12 left in the period. Dickerson's head immediately went to the mat. And just a heavy pressure from Parker here. Hard to tell what Parker's working for here. He does have a leg in. It kind of seems like he wants to give some type of a power half. As he throws the other boot in, now he's definitely in power half territory. With both legs in, Dickerson's hips up, he definitely wants a power half here. And there he is. That pressure on that back of the neck. And Dickerson slides out. He's able to double knee slide out. Immense pressure here. 10 seconds remaining. And Parker's trying to end the period on top. And he does. Parker's 3.5 minutes of riding time. And Parker selects neutral. Figures most likely is going to secure the riding time for the match. Up 8-3. Try to get another takedown. That same side single's been working. That lead leg every time. There it is. Dickerson's gonna post, and Parker's gonna shoot. Right. Oh, and a nice slick shot by Dickerson there. Completely unexpected, but a good scramble. Parker getting in the time of Peterson type situation. Dickerson able to collect two. Very, very, very fast shot. That level change was lightning fast by Dickerson. Unable to do that earlier because Conrad was so quick to shoot on his feet. 9-5 now with that escape point. Parker is in the lead. And that same leg, if it's not broke, if it ain't broke. Back to his bread and butter, limp arms out, and that's two. I'm calling it potentially dangerous. 11-5 now. Parker's in the lead. Over 3 minutes of riding time. Minute on the clock, so he does have that secured. That is Parker's second caution. One more gets him a point. Dickerson working up, quick stand up, fighting hands. Parker might get hit with a stall here, and he doesn't. Lets him go for one. Goes for a duck. Parker sprawls. Good flexibility here by Parker. Throwing in a whizzer. And buries the whizzer over. He whizzers him over. Almost a whizzer to back point situation for Parker. Nice flexibility. Extend the leg. Fight off that takedown. To secure the major here. With 10 seconds left. Oh, he gives up he gives up a reversal late for the major. Parker tried to do too much, throwing a leg in. Gives up a reversal. Parker was looking for the major decision right there. That late takedown from the Wizard secured it, but unfortunately gave up the late reversal. That win from Parker, though, does give Ithaca the lead on the dual meet. Ithaca is now in the lead 16-15 as we have a match at 184. Ryan Golka for the Bombers and Jameson Shea for the Lions. Just kind of feeling each other out, center of the mat here. Just getting movement firing, looking for an opening, try to create an angle. Big club from Shea there. Not much movement from Golka, though. Front headlock position for Shea. Big wrist control from Golka, though. Able to fight that off. It's good defense from Golka. Back into his Russian. Poor head position, though. Shea has a head position on the other side. Galka was able to dig his head on a near side temple, you're definitely looking for that drag to 2 there. But tries to drag anyway with the head on the opposite side and just, unfortunately, not able to climb fast enough to those ankles. Halfway through the period, no score. Nice shot. Has that shelved on his thigh. Looking to bring it inside between his legs. And now he's in a good position at treetop. Nice trip. And for 2. It's a nice shot. And nice control and strength to keep that leg shelved, bring it up. Nice trip. Didn't get too over the top. Didn't try to bull rush through. Did what he had to do to secure a takedown there. Nice 2 points by Galka. So he works on top. Looking for a barge, unable to get in. Has a half. Shea's able to go get his 1. Gets in on a shot. Unsure if he's able to score there because Galka did have a whizzer. Unfortunately, able for Galka, whizzer's out, and Shea gets a trip on the other side. It's a little inside trip going. But Galka straight up. Even with the leg ride, just stood straight up, pure strength, and faces him for his 1. Under 5 seconds remaining, is able to face him for his 1. We're now tied 3-3 going into the second period. Nice knee bump there by Galka for the mat return. Not much movement on bottom from Shea. Leg comes in from Galka on top. Get rolled forward, has double legs in. The boots are deep. Looking for a power half and a turn. That heavy pressure is tough to deal with from Galka, especially when you feel those legs starting to come in. Bar type position, trying to get it deeper. But Shea stands up. Trying to separate his hips for 1, turn in. And he gets it. 4-3 now. Shea's in the lead. Galka does have choice for a third period. Assuming he's going to choose bottom, try to get an escape. Nice go behind. Called no points. Said that his weight wasn't on his hands. Nice drag. Galka coming up. Has double unders now. See if he tries to jack it up. And let's go. They separate. Under 30 seconds remaining in the period. Shea seems kind of gassed. Not as heavy, or a little bit more heavy on his feet. Not as quick or bouncy as he was earlier in the match. Under 5 seconds remaining. That was a big snap by Shea, but not enough time on the clock for him to score off of it. That was a big time snap. Quick stand-up by Galka, turning in, getting his hips away, and there's 1. Now tied, 4-4, but Galka does have riding time. He has 1:10 on the ride time. So Shea's forced to score here. He has to score. He is losing this match. Big time throw, tried to overhook him over, but never went in and trip. Golka's able to fight it off. Nice shot by Golka. Single. Gets stuffed underneath, though. Shea gets his hips back on the sprawl. Has an ankle. And it looks like a stalemate type of position. I can't imagine anybody scoring here unless Shea is able to get around. Oh, Golka comes out the back door. He's able to come out the back door. He's able to fight through that ankle pull and come out the back door for 2. Goes right into a bar. Now he has a 3-point lead with riding time effectively. Golka's looking to just ride him out here. 45 seconds in the period. Unless Shea can pull some type of big move here. Stalemate. Restart. But Golka's in the driver's seat here. Riding time is secured. Minute 43 riding time, 34 seconds on the clock. So Golka can afford here to give up escaping a takedown and go to overtime. And Golka gives up the 2 reversal. He's still in the lead. He still has the riding time. Shea realizes he needs to cut him for the riding time. And Golka tries to whiz her out. Shea's in on a shot pretty deep. He has it shelved. And Golka moves out of bounds. He's able to take it off of the mat. 12 seconds remaining. Golka up by 1. Shea's in on a shot. Golka sprawls out. Hips back. Crossface. Crossface. Golka holds on for the victory. 7-6. 8-6 with the riding time. Ryan Golka holds on. It's a big victory for the Bombers as they make the jump 19-15. And Ez is coming up at 97. The Bombers feel pretty good at this moment. You're counting on Ez here. Beautiful shot. Coming out the side, duck under type of position. Has that wrist rolling through. First Clarkson brother tonight, Matthew Clarkson, at 197 for the Lions. As really tight ride here. A lot of control. Clarkson trying to get up. Big slam. Head hit off the mat. And Hez comes with a mean crossface. Like if you're going to want that 1 point, you're going to have to earn it. And cuts him. Got his minute of riding time. And then cut him. Looking for bonus points here. Nice shot by Clarkson. Ez just too strong. Comes through with a Turk. Claw ride. Bow and arrow. That big step through Turk was really nice by Ez. Claw ride was tight. Just pure strength allowed that to happen. Once his hips get up in the air and you're able to step through it, and almost penetration step from the top position through that Turk, it's a really nice move if you're able to catch that claw. And shot right into a cradle. That was locked, but Matthew Clarkson able to swim that arm through. It'd be hard to turn him with that cradle, so Ez lets it go. Up 10-2. There with the bow and arrow again. Get that claw. Hold there for a 4 count. And right back over. That cuts him. 30 seconds remaining. Look to get another takedown here. Creating angles, baseball grip. Nice blast double. Right into a claw. Got a nice 2 points on. And Ez realizes that, hey, I need a fall here because he secured the tech. And he gets it with under 5 seconds remaining, too. 4 seconds on the clock. Ez is able to secure a fall. And Ez Chukwueze,
By technical fall, as Chukwueze.
ranked 6th in the country,
And now, wrestling at 205
dominated that match.
pounds, James Clarkson.
Second Clarkson brother, James Clarkson, at 285. Jeremy Mazzella, his second match of the night at 285. And with that last win, that last fall, Ithaca secures the dual victory. Currently 25-15 with this match. And we have few exhibitions. But most likely, see some guys on the Ithaca bench warming up. But, yeah, 25-15. Ithaca secures this dual win no matter what happens here. Mazzella, of course, isn't content with that. He's looking to add to the Ithaca scoreboard. And obviously, James Clarkson wants bragging rights for his brother. And Jeremy gets in on a double leg. Nice takedown there from Mazzella. Mazzella working here for a straight jacket. Trying to walk towards that head, get that pressure. Ends up losing it. And Clarkson gets the escape. Minute 30 on the clock. Mazzella definitely looking for another takedown. Trying to create angle here. Clarkson hasn't really been on the attack as much. Heavyweight ties in the center. That was a nice misdirection ankle pick. But just pure strength by Mazzella there. Able to stuff it and work his leg out. Go behind for the 2. Boasts his lead to 4-1. 40 seconds left on the clock. First period. Mazzella trying to use that lengthy frame of his, lock up a far side cradle. Got a little bit overzealous on that crossface cradle, and Clarkson was able to shrug him ahead, but not able to make an escape out of it. 5 seconds remaining. And the period ends. Mazzella up 4-1. Mazzella planning to stand right up. Takes bottom. And there's his 1. And he faces him in front headlock type position, but just takes his 1. Gets that separation. Clarkson was looking to get some underhooks there. Maybe hit a throw, trip, something big. Down 5-1. Minute 30 on the clock. Standard call, heavyweight behavior, in on the collar ties. Lots of clubs. A shot attempt by Mazzella. Back to the collar ties. Clarkson tries a little shrug. Didn't quite get much out of it. Centered, center of the mat. Mozilla wants to get out of those ties. He's not really interested. He wants to create some angles elsewhere. Clarkson tries to hit throw by with that underhook. Mazzella just too strong, clamps down. Mazzella shoots off of Clarkson's throw by, trying to clear his head, get two, but Clarkson got that opposite ankle and end up getting two as the last second ticks off of the clock. Second period. Extends his lead to 7-1, Mazzella. Ithaca pretty content with how this match went. And Mazzella locks up a crossface cradle for a brief moment, and there is blood all over the mat. That was a heavy crossface. Might be a minute until we get this all cleaned up. Big time crossface, big time blood splatter. This happens sometimes in sport of wrestling. Mazzella working big time for that cradle up top. He's so much taller at the beginning of the year. Started the Ithaca Invitational wrestling in 197. Here today, in both of these dual meets, he's wrestling 285. So comparative to some of the stockier builds at heavyweight, Mazzella has that length advantage where he could be a menace on top if he wanted to perfect that cradle. And crossface cradles are not as fun as they look. If you could ever believe it, getting crossface is not fun. Seems to be almost done here. Mazzella take top. Optional start. And then he says, never mind. So, minute 40 now on the clock. Mazzella has a minute 40 of riding time himself. Yep. Mazzella right back to where he went before. Wants that crossface cradle. Clarkson's like, no, I don't want you to get that crossface cradle. And eventually, Mazzella forces his way in there, rolls through. He's trying to scoot out so you get that knee inside. You see that knee in the side of the kidney, that head in the temple, and just breaks his grip. That bumps to 11-1, the score. Jeremy signed, hey, I hit a cross-face cradle. Now I want a near-side cradle. Round out the system. Clarkson trying to stand up so he doesn't have to face any more cradle onslaught. Gets his one. And Jeremy shoots him off of the mat, but Clarkson chest wraps it. There's 37 seconds left as we restart. Jeremy trying to throw one more takedown into his repertoire for the night. Clarkson trying to score a takedown of his own here. on a down block, and he gets it. A big crossface. He's like, it's what you get for crossfacing me. I'm trying to return the favor. And time runs out. So with riding time, Mazzella does secure the major. 12-4. And the duel ends. Ithaca, 29. Okay, so now we have the exhibition. But the duel does officially end. Ithaca, 29. And Nassau Community College, 15. We have a 125 exhibition here. Kevin Lopez and Francisco Muriel. And thanks for sticking around the whole time here in Ben Light Gymnasium. 3 duels today, a lot of wrestling. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. As Kevin Lopez gets a 2-point takedown in the first exhibition match of what looks to be 2. Muriel flat right now. Lopez trying to work an arm on back bar or some type of tilt. There's that bar. Relax with his arm on his back. Coming across the other side for what I assume would be a far bar tilt, but much less effective as and a roll through 2-on-1 tilt, but Muriel was able to roll through completely. No back points, not even a swipe. Lopez still on top, showing his hands. Going for an arm and back bar tilt again. So arm on the back. And this time he doesn't go for the bar. He runs through with a claw. Puts the rest of the floor. And Muriel's fighting for the match right now on his back. And that is a pinfall for Kevin Lopez.
Winner by fall, Kevin Lopez.
First period fall.
And now another exhibition match, wrestling for Ithaca, Tony Giovanoli.
And it looks like the second exhibition match for Tony Giovanoli is unfortunately not going to happen. Nassau does not have another wrestler to send. And the wrestler that Giovanoli would wrestle if they would just pull from their varsity lineup happened to be injured earlier. So that looks like it is end for tonight. Ithaca finishes the day with 2 dual meet victories against Oswego State and the Nassau Community College Lions. Thank you guys for sticking around to the very end. Have a great night.